Frontier City is a great family theme park located in Oklahoma City and is part of the Six Flags family. Those looking strictly for coasters won't find too many here, though there are a few unique classic ones. But with a solid collection of family flat rides and great overall theming, this park is perfect for families or those seeking more of a total amusement park experience over just high thrills. Find out more in this review. Before visiting Frontier City, I kind of got the impression that this was a small park where most things, especially the coasters, could be done in maybe half a day. So I didn't plan too much for my initial visit and ended up running out of time to ride all the flat rides around the park. There are a lot more flat rides than I'm kind of used to at a Six Flags park, especially given Frontier City's overall size. So I did need to go back for at least a second day to get everything in. This second day occurred over the summer of 2025 when they were open every day of the week, which was a nice change in overall operations, but in the evenings from 4 to 10 p.m. This gave plenty of time to ride the coasters, see the shows, and do everything. And although there were people in the park, crowds weren't too much of an issue here. When I visited during the day on a Monday in 2024, I did get stuck in Steel Lasso's line, so that ate up a lot of my time overall in the park. The first thing you'll notice is the parking lot seems fairly small. And that's not really an issue, as there just aren't going to be large crowds here, though some rides will still have waits, even on a slower weekday, just due to the overall low capacity. It just seemed really weird parking on my first visit that it wasn't that big. Before entering the main park, Diamondback has its entrance off to the side of the gift shop. This coaster is often closed, and you can see this early in the day if this is the case. If it is open, they will be testing it before rope drop, and did open it before rope drop on my 2024 visit, so you can likely get a few quick laps in to start your day. With over-the-shoulder restraints, the drops play well as you fly up into your restraint, especially when launched backwards. The valleys had some bad shaking in them, so it could really mess with my head, especially on multiple re-rides. The first show of the day is the Rooftop Showdown, so if you're getting early laps on Diamondback, you will miss this show. This is an excellent way to start your day, as it puts you in the mood to be in the Wild West by having an outlaw show right down Main Street. Plus, pre-rope drop shows are just such a good idea. Sadly, I'm normally preoccupied worrying about rope drop here, so I haven't been able to enjoy this show like maybe I should on my visits. Right off of Main Street is Timbertown, which is the kiddie area of the park. Without the Six Flags branding, they can't use the familiar Looney Tunes characters, so they have their own. Bubba's Honey Swings does restrict adults, and I was also not allowed to ride Rocky's Ranger Planes. I was able to ride Billy's Frog Hopper, and it is an enjoyable bouncing kiddie ride. Hootie's Treehouse looks like a solid play gym for kids who need something like that. And Tina's Teacup Twirl is nice and fun, while offering the ability to spin a lot, if you really want to. For coaster lovers, Frankie's Mine Train is an enjoyable kiddie coaster. It offers a nice drop with two really enjoyable lateral kinks in it, though its helix and final turn are rather forceless. It does only give one lap, but this seems to keep the line down, as I only had to wait on this coaster because the Roller Coaster Enthusiast Club of Great Britain was ahead of me on a few of my rides. Two John Saloon is right off of this area, and it regularly has a show in the Two John Saloon Revue. This is a small bar venue, which makes it cool with just how close you are to the actual actors. However, the sound quality and songs just didn't do it necessarily for me, as it felt a bit underwhelming compared to the other awesome shows that are here. Though it really is a fun, quirky, energetic show in a really unique setting. So I would definitely suggest giving it a watch, as likely it might appeal to your tastes more than it does mine. Then there's a group of flat rides along the side of the park once you leave Timbertown. The rides themselves have a bit of theming, but with being able to look out onto the highway, this area does not have the same charm as the rest of the park. One of the stations for the old 89er Express is here as well. The train is a nice ride for families, but many of those views aren't too special, except some backstage shots of the different roller coasters. So it could do a bit more for a park train. Rolling Thunder has a lot of rocking back and forth, and it feels similar to a swinging ship at first, but you do get some hang time as you build up to going over the top. Then you get decent but not great hang time while inverting. Prairie Schooner is a slow and mild swinging ship. There is a neat jerk when it hits the wheel, which adds a bit of fun on the first few swings. The max swings do offer a decent amount of airtime tingling feeling, even in the second to last row. There are some mild positive G's in the downward swings, but nothing crazy, as those can really mess with me on these types of rides. Rodeo Roundup is a nice ride for families. It has a little bit of theming. If the cars are going the wrong way, this was fun with all the collisions, but if everyone was following the rules like they're supposed to, it became a below average set of bumper cars. Tornado is a slow and tame tilt-a-whirl, so you should not come off too dizzy. It can get decent spins sometimes, but it was not consistent at this. There also seems to be a hump by the entrance that was a bit tamer, so it has a nice overall rhythm to it as a ride. In the middle area of this park is a large building that has food, shade, and the easiest place to get drink refills. This has been readjusted to scan cups with the Cedar Fair adjustment to Six Flags parks, but it still is a great place to take a break in a centralized location. The Opera House is located right off of the main food court here. This is a small theater where the world of magic is. Although not relating to the Frontier theme, this is by far my favorite show at this park, as I really enjoy a good magic show, and this leaves me thinking and wondering about magic. And it's really just such a great show for families to see all of those awesome tricks. On the other side of this building are a few more rides that look pretty good. The Grand Carousel looks nice with its placement in the park, but it didn't offer much in terms of forces as a ride. Mystery River Log Flume is a quirky log flume with some theming and a layout designed to represent a log mill. The indoor sections are awesome, dark, and tight, but the outdoor sections don't have a large amount of theming, though the splashdown into the lake looks terrific off-ride. The line for this can be a bit long at 20 to 30 minutes just due to its low capacity, so I try to hit it up earlier if you can. It also shouldn't get you too wet, and they didn't give me any issues riding as a single rider. Quick Draw is a really basic shooting gallery dog ride, but something about the simplicity helps, as it just seems like something that would fit into the Wild West theme park like Frontier City. It could still really use an upgrade at this point, but I do enjoy it for what it is. Off to the side here is Wing Warrior, which is a fun and a bit scary as you're suspended up in the air. But this didn't have much whip or thrills, and I left just kind of feeling a bit disappointed with the overall experience. I did not try the Soaring Eagle zipline, as it is an upcharge, but it is located in this area as well. The large Nightmare Mine building still has a few pieces of the old coaster that ran in it, but mainly this is just used for a haunted house nowadays, which is sad, as another family coaster would actually really add a lot to this section of the park and the park overall. Walking around the Nightmare Mine, there's another small collection of rides. Sidewinder mixes forces while offering a beautiful view of the area around it. It's not too wild, but nice for families. Gunslinger is the lone crazy looking flat ride. Going upside down offers a lot of thrills, but it still wasn't anything crazy or super special, though it also wasn't nearly as scary as it first looked when I saw this ride going. The flip seemed rather controlled, and you could feel that on the ride. Renegade Rapids has nice theming, trees, and some waterfalls with the tunnel, so this does a fine job at being a nice family raft ride. The second station for the train is located in this area as well, but this is much easier to stumble upon just walking around the park. Casino is off to the side, but it does sadly ban single riders, and for some reason I didn't ride it when I brought my brother with me on my first visit to the park, so I can't speak to its quality as a wipeout. Located next to Sidewinder is the Crack Axle Canyon Stunt Show, and nothing says Frontier City like a gun stunt show. This show is a goofy show for families, and the jokes are corny, but they do work well. And it's just neat to see the different stunts and scenes that they're able to do while setting the mood of the theme park overall. So it's well worth watching on a trip at this park. Located on a hill is the Grand Centennial Ferris wheel, which offers great views of the coasters and park as a whole. It does also ban single riders, as most Ferris wheels do. Tin Lizzie's is a basic and short car ride that goes around this hill. It looked pretty neat off-ride, but it did leave me feeling like it wasn't much and probably not worth the long wait that it might have. Lastly, tucked into the back are 3 more roller coasters. The Wild West Waterworks and Gully Washer, a water play structure, and water slides are further back in the park, but both have been closed on the weekdays that I visited. Steel Lasso is a coaster that I like maybe more than I should, as I've waited extra for the front row a fair amount of times, and the mixture of positive G's and drop feelings up there is something really special. They will allow quick queue or other special guests to board first, and they normally, understandably, take the front row, so it can be an extra 5+ cycle wait for that front. It is worth it for a better coaster ride, but might not be so given all the other fun stuff that you can do at Frontier City. With one train, this coaster can get a fairly long line to begin with, even on a quiet day, so I would plan around that. Silver Bullet has also been plagued with a lot of downtime in recent years, which is sad as this is just such a great classic coaster. It has 2 lateral kinks on its drop, which makes the curve drop much better than one might think. Then shuffling in the second and third turns offers solid coaster moments. And lastly, after little airtime on the ride, that final hill delivers a nice pop. Wildcat is the only operating coaster that has made me throw up. I'm not really sure how it managed this, as it is a little rough, but that's more just character of an old wood coaster like this. And only the 4th drop offers any airtime, as most of the coaster feels pretty neutered by this point. Still, for families, this is a big looking coaster that isn't too strong on the forces, and it plays well and is popular enough with the crowds that Frontier City sees. I also really appreciate that Frontier City was spacing out their shows for the 2025 season. Some of this was that the same actors participated in multiple shows, but shows were exactly 45 minutes apart, with 2 showings of each show, except the pre-drop show, at least on the evening that I visited. This made it easy to bounce on over to the next show and even get a ride or 2 in between them, and I really wish that other parks could schedule their shows in such a simple way. As for rope drop strategy, I would definitely try to hit up Steel Lasso first, though it did not open with the park on my most recent visit, as Steel Lasso easily will get the longest line. Tin Lizzie and Mystery Log Flume are also kind of around this area, and are the rides with the longest waits that I encountered. Renegade Rapids likely can build up a longer line on a busier day as well. As for the coasters, with them only running one train, they could build up a wait. But at worst, I saw a 1 or 2 cycle wait for Silver Bullet and maybe a 3 cycle wait for Wildcat, so these should be relatively reasonable. The larger factor for maximizing your day is just having a good plan with what flat rides and shows you will want to do, and how you can quickly do these while just walking around the overall park. If you're traveling to Frontier City, there are some hotels right above the park. I stayed at the Quality Inn for 2 nights, as it was cheap at only $50 a night. It did have a good enough breakfast offering, but there was kind of a weird smell that made it not as restful as maybe I would have liked after driving 13 hours through Arkansas to get to Oklahoma City. But just being super close, it is a really neat perk, and there are other hotels in different price ranges right around here as well. The Hurricane Harbor Water Park is actually like 20 minutes away from Frontier City, so it's not the easiest to do both if you're looking to actually do so. For coasters, Incredible Piece of War Acres is 20 minutes away, so you can hop over there before or after Frontier City if you want that coaster credit. It just is normally closed on Mondays, which also seems to be a pain with when I want to visit Frontier City, because I'm usually going to go here on a Monday. Overall, how good is Frontier City? This is a well-themed family park that is enjoyable with a good amount of flat rides and a nice coaster collection for those seeking classic or family-friendly coasters. The lack of large thrill rides is apparent, but it's a larger strategy with the park to make it a lot more friendly towards families. And I love the feel this park radiates. Of the 3 small parks north of Dallas, Wonderland, Frontier City, and Magic Springs, I do prefer the roller coaster lineup at Wonderland. But Frontier City does everything else well as an actual amusement park. And the quality shows are just such a big plus, both for me and families in general, as I really do love good shows at a park. This is one of the smaller Six Flags parks, but with its charm, it is well worth a day, or even 2 really, to experience just how special it truly is. What has your experience been at Frontier City? Do you feel this is a quality family park? Let me know, and as always, Cup Kun Crap.